Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel SB Designs. And if you are new here, just subscribe to my channel, press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. On this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make an Ankara Obi belt without home, so stay connected. Thank you. Before we start, you need to get your materials ready. Materials like your fabric, that's Ankara fabric, your tailor's chalk, your pins, your tape measure, your scissors, and then your violin. I call it violin, but I don't know how you call it. Some call it stiff, others call it fusible interfacing. Now, let's get started. Okay, now we are going to take the measurement, how wide you want your belt to be like. Okay, for me, the wideness of my belt, I want it 7 inches wide, and then the length of the belt will be determined by your waist measurement. My waist measurement is 27, and I'm going to use 27 as my waist measurement. So the length is going to be 27 plus your 1 inch allowance, and then your width is going to be 7 inches plus the 1 inch allowance, making 8 inches. But before we cut our waist measurement, it's going to be on fold. It's going to be on fold like this. Yes, so these are 8 inches. Then the length is going to be 27 plus 1 inch allowance, making 28 inches. This is where my 28 inches ends. 28 inches. So we are going to mark and then mark the upper part, also 28 inches. Then we cut out. Okay, so after cutting your front belt, we are about to shape it to any design you want. This open place is where I'll place my belt, and then the belt is going to have 4 inches wide. So we locate the center of this 4 inches here. So the 4 inches wide is going to be at the center, 2 inches here, and then 2 inches also here. This is where our belt is going to be. Now, after we locate the center with our 4 inches, I'm going to design it this way. So from this part to this part, I will draw a line to join where the belt is going to be. Like this. And then like this. So basically, when you're done ruling your line, this is how you're going to get. You're going to get something like this. Now you're about to cut out. After you're done cutting, just notch the center like this, then notch here too. the same way you notch this part to where your belt is going to be. Okay, so this is what we are going to get, something like this. Okay, now let's cut our belt. Now we are about to cut our belt, and I chose 4 inches wide as mine, as the biggest, how big I want my belt, and then the length is going to be my waist measurement plus 3 inches. That will be 30 inches. How long I want my belt, and then how wide I want my belt is going to be 4 inches. Okay, but before you cut the belt, it should be placed on fold like this, on fold like this. 4 inches, then you cut out. Yes, so our belt is cut out. This happens to be the wrong side, and then this happens to be the wrong side of this too. Okay, so you can see I've marked the wrong sides. Now what we have to do now is to shape the edge of the belt in any shape that we want. I prefer mine to be like this. Yes, mine should be pointed, something like this. Now what we have to do now is to stitch half inch round like this, and then same thing also here, half inch round to the end. Okay, so after stitching our belt, we would now come to the main part of our belt. That's the bigger size of our belt. We will then fuse one side and then leave the other side unfused. Now after fusing one side of our main belt, the other side left unfused, and our belts are also neatly stitched. And now what we have to do is we turn it to the right side. Take the tip like this. You can do that with the help of scissors. After you are done turning, you then give it a nice press for it to look very flat and neat. Okay. Now on the main belt, that's the front belt. What you have to do now is to place right sides of each together like this, and then stitch all round half an inch, leaving about 1.5 inches for you to turn it to the other side. But before we stitch the main belt all round, our long belt is going to be placed on it this way, and the other one too, like this, before the main belt right side be placed on it. Now go ahead and then stitch all round half an inch, and then leave your 1.5 inches to help you turn to the right side of the belt. Okay, so after sewing all around half an inch, we're going to get something like this, leaving 1.5 inches open here. So this is where we are going to turn to the right side. You're going to turn the right side through this. Yes, so we are done turning, and after turning, this is what you're going to get. It's going to look something like this. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do so, because our next video is going to be a great one. At this point, this is the 1.5 inch we left here that enabled us to turn through. Okay, what we have to do here is to fold it in gently and then hem it so that it doesn't show. And then what happens to the main part is that we are going to press it, because of the violin I fused inside. It's going to be a little rough, so pressing is very necessary. So after we are done pressing, all you have to do now is to top stitch about 1/2 inch all round. I'm going to top stitch all round, then I think your belt is almost ready. You make sure you cut all the unwanted threads to make it more neat and beautiful.